And
Oh my God, that
I'm so sorry. I should have gave you a
bro, that goes
warning.
hard, bro. That's okay. So you know how it's not the Avenue anymore, right? And
Yeah.
it's AAA.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we could have like a Toonami kind of futuristic vibe.
We could.
But what do you think? Is the Attack on Titan vibe more fitting? Like
No, it
sort
was
of.
just a placeholder because I just didn't want it to be blank,
Mhm.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Not now,
Yeah,
but we'll figure it out.
yeah,
We'll
we'll
work it
work.
out. We're workshopping that. But anyway, welcome, guys. Welcome. You might have noticed something different. Maybe a name change.
Yeah, maybe one more word added to our organization here.
Or a couple more words.
Maybe entirely different ones.
Yeah. So if you might be confused here, but let me explain. When this whole thing started, I was kind of thinking about just me, and I didn't know I was going to have Justin as my official co-host. So I kind
As
of
many people did not know, I kind of just turn up.
he sure does. And so I took into consideration that this might be a long-term thing, and I changed the name. And we've decided and we've come to an agreement that from now on, this podcast will be known as the AAA podcast, the AAA all about animation. That's what AAA stands for, all about animation, because that's what we're all about. We are all about animation. And
Which is
animation,
exactly what we're all about.
yeah, it's exactly what we're all about. So, welcome. I would say welcome to the first. This is the official episode, the first official episode. I feel like the episode we did was a pilot. Something, a little sneak peek in what's to come.
Episode 0, if you will.
Yes, the one that gets you started off the ground. So, I guess you might be wondering what we're talking about today. Well, I think it was a couple weeks ago. It was like 1 or 2 weeks ago. Cartoon Network decided to post a little something that caught my attention, and I said, "Hey, Justin, you want to do this for a podcast episode?"
And I said, that sounds like a great idea because we've got things to say.
Yeah. So if you're confused, what I'm referring to is the Super Toon Showdown that Cartoon Network posted on their Instagram and Twitter, I believe. And let me tell you, I was live participating. So I was seeing how the results were landing. And let me tell you, things happened. Spoiler alert, Adventure Time won.
As it always does, the show of the Renaissance period. Everyone loves Adventure Time. Oh, I can't imagine a world without it. But let's see if it really deserved that win.
Yeah, no, we have some opinions. Now, we both have different opinions, so I don't know how yours is going to turn out. But I know, because we can talk about who wins it overall, but we kind of just we broke it down to the categories because they had 4 categories: adventure, superheroes, comedy, and slice of life. So I have my own individual winners for all 4 of those categories. I don't know what yours is, but I know what mine are. So I'm very interested to see.
Okay, well, if that's how you want to play it, I think we should try going by category. Let's just take it down the adventure route and go down each bracket, from Adventure Time versus Flapjack, Billy and Mandy versus Kid Next Door, so we can add to that suspense. So our viewers can go bit by bit which one of these shows we think wins over the other.
Yeah, so let's read off who's going against who. So for our first matchup, we have Adventure Time versus Flapjack. Oh, sorry, let me say the full name: The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy versus codename Kids Next Door. Wow, some tongue twisters here. Then you have Scooby Doo versus Infinity Train. Rest in peace, Infinity Train. Then you have Steven Universe versus Over the Garden Wall.
They did not spare any expense. They said, okay, all 9 or 8s or 10 out of 10s versus the other 8 or 9.
Honestly, I feel like this was probably the second or third easiest one that I.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So for the first one, you have Adventure Time versus Flapjack. Who did you pick?
It's going to Adventure Time. Sure. Listen, as much as Adventure Time stumbles and falls in like the seasons 7 or 8, the B episode, the The episode where they're talking hunting Abathir or something. It's like, okay, sure. But the episodes where they hit, they hit. I'm talking season 1, season 9, season 1s to 3. It's like
The
earlier
specials?
seasons. Yeah, the specials, the Greybles, every single one of them managed to have excellence in a completely different genre, whether it's like we're having fun slice of life adventures, introspective episodes that deal with a deep dive into a character, or just lore, just Catalyst Comet type stuff. Finn versus
Honestly, I think they're probably one of the first shows. I don't want to say one of the first. I don't want to say they were the very first, but I think they were one of the few starting examples of shows who were kind of started off episodic and then delved into a plot.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. That's why adventure is kind of afterwards defined by Adventure Time when it comes to just serialized shows and cartoons.
Well, I don't want to speak on Adventure Time because I want to speak on Flapjack. Flapjack is I love Flapjack. Some people don't. Some people thought it was a lot, and it is, but I personally love it because of how weird it was. That's because Cartoon Network was weird during that period of time. And so I love Flapjack for so many different reasons. I love the mixture of animation styles too. Like they would have regular 2D and then throw in like like a 3D and like a stop motion like type thing in there. Like it was something special. But I also went with Adventure Time because as much as I love Flapjack, one of my favorite characters on Adventure Time is Marshall Lee, and nobody on Flapjack.
It's interesting.
Marshall Lee.
That. Okay,
but it makes sense because my second favorite character. Actually, no, my first favorite character is Marceline. Then my second favorite character is Marshall Lee. But they're the same character.
I'm sensing a type with you, Aubree.
Yeah. But sorry, Flapjack, but you lost in the first round. This first win goes to Adventure Time. Next, we have The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy versus Codename Kids Next Door. I'll go first since you went last. I chose Billy and Mandy.
You did.
I did. And hear me out. I think it's because I did watch Codename Kids Next Door, but a lot of these shows, but out of those two, I remember Billy and Mandy way more.
Okay.
Like I remember watching Codename Kids Next Door, but I remember Billy and Mandy even more. It just stands out to me. And not only that, I think it's just, I don't know. I love the dark elements that come with Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I love it. Like I love the horror aspects of it all because one of my favorite movie genres is horror. So I kind of have a bias for it. Like, not to say anything against Codename Kids Next Door, because honestly, they are both really good shows. Like, this was probably the hardest matchup in this category, personally. Because
I can see that.
Because, once again, a lot of these other shows were easy for me, but this one I had to come back to this one and think about it because it's like, dang, Mandy is probably the blueprint of the type of characters that I like in shows.
You saw Mandy one day and it's like, yep, I'm taking this personality and applying it to everything I make.
Yes. And not only that, the humor was just funny. Like, what was it? This is the one meme with Billy. It was like, you ain't bad. You ain't nothing.
Exactly. My favorite one from Billy and Mandy is they're watching the movie and Grimm is like, this is the worst piece of garbage that I've ever seen. Who can watch this nonsense? Billy turns around with the meanest grimace and says, this movie is not stupid. You're stupid.
Or do you remember the whole clown epidemic that happened a couple years ago where there was just a bunch of clowns and then there was that video of Billy screaming? Yeah, no.
Topical. Always.
And my favorite thing about it was the special where we dive in a little bit into Grimm's past and how he essentially had kind of like a little crash little thing with the Spider Queen, and it was that special was so sad because you can tell that they were like the best of friends, and he was trying to, it was a whole miscommunication thing, as it always is. It's always miscommunication. It was a whole miscommunication, and then years later they're sitting there fighting each other, and it was just it was really like heartwarming, sad, and a whole bunch of other things. And then you had the side plot of Billy being a dad to a spider
That
while he
that
was
always gets me.
oh my gosh. And at the same time, he was scared of it. Oh, I'm sorry. I love Billy and Mandy, but it seems like you have different opinions. So I want to hear your thoughts.
I'm going to say that for the usual cartoon viewer, Codename Kid Next Door was something that you can say, all right, I get the general premise. What can we do with the idea of kids working against adults, making sure that they can still maintain their innocence while also framing age as like organizations. So you got the kids, you got the teenagers, you got the adults, and for one of the most intense Cartoon Network specials ever, you had the elder girl. You had not just father, but father, and that's when things got real intense with the whole zombie epidemic episode.
Did you just say? Wait, I'm sorry to cut you off, but did you just say the most intense?
Wait, no, hold up. Yeah, let me get you started. Let me give you some context. Imagine you're 6 years old watching Cartoon Network. You're like, oh, I can't wait to see the special with my favorite Kid Next Door characters. And then all of a sudden, father's father shows up and with a single touch can turn you into an elderly. That scares me even now. Like, I've got a whole life ahead of me. And now I'm old. And worse yet, it's like he's getting everyone. No organization is safe. You know, the kids next door that are in space, outer space, like the 500s and everything, not even they're safe. And that's how you know this guy's big. He's serious. He's on his Thanos before the movie even came out.
No, okay, I get your point. Only reason I question that is because some other shows on this list that can compete, but you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll get to Over the Garden Wall in a little, but I have to still give it to The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, but only because of one episode that has stuck in my mind with complete clarity since the day I watched it, and that's the Christmas special.
Right.
That right there sold me on why The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, with all of its weirdness, all of its deconstruction, is one of the smartest shows on this network.
So, sorry, Codename Kids Next Door. You're with Flapjack. You're great. We love you, but you had a tough opponent.
You're gonna have a tougher opponent next.
I don't think so.
Okay, we have to get through to this. I gotta see what you think about that next matchup.
Yeah, let's get into it. So the next matchup is Scooby-Doo versus Infinity Train.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Next, before we go on, we have to give our condolences to Infinity Train. I should know that Cartoon Network ever wanted to exist.
Yeah, it was definitely it got the short end of the stick too. I feel bad because it's like we can't even fully judge it, really, because it's not even a complete series.
I saw so much potential. I've watched most of the show through clips and the occasional, okay, my friends are watching it, let's go to anime website number 46 and catch an episode, because Cartoon Network was never airing it. They wanted to bury that show as much as possible.
I'm pretty sure it was on HBO Max that was airing it, because you know Cartoon Network
first shows to get taken off HBO Max.
Yeah, and they're never putting it back. Yeah, so rest in peace.
Infinity Train isn't that much of a matchup against Scooby-Doo. It's because it never got the chance.
First of all, it's still wonderful against Scooby-Doo. Even though Scooby-Doo has some weird iterations, we're not talking about Velma.
What about What's Up, Scooby-Doo?
No.
Okay, what about Mystery Incorporated?
Oh, most definitely. Mystery Incorporated was new Scooby-Doo. Like, those are the original Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is just even the movies. The movies are great. Except for that one where they had Daphne and Velma. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like... It's not comparable to like the early 2000s Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah, and the live action ones, they got some highlights, you know?
Oh, they were good. James Gunn.
Wait, James Gunn? No, what? I got to
You didn't know?
I didn't know.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Wow.
That's just... Little did I know. Little did I know.
It kind of
another episode.
right now. Look, Wow. Okay. You know what? Let's move on from that.
Yeah,
Wow.
pretend that never happens.
Yeah. Next one. I might get some side eyes for this one.
Bombastic side eyes, even.
Bombastic side eye with this one. Next pairing and last for this category is Steven Universe versus Over the Garden Wall. I chose Steven Universe.
Yeah, but it's like in only a 12 or 10 episode special, like Over the Garden Wall was one of the most unique, chilling Cartoon Network specials.
And
I am Elijah Wood as the voice actor, man. It's like
I am not taking that away from it. I love Over the Garden Wall. It was probably one of the few cartoons that came out in the last decade that is like wow, Cartoon Network. So you still do have something in there. But I have a deep connection with Steven Universe.
me too. Pearl songs are my favorite songs to sing.
Yeah, no, and like we can sit there and look. There, Steven Universe has its issues. We all, every Steven Universe fans know. We know, but it's just something about the show. First of all, I love how they deconstruct a character. I love how they deconstruct a character. And if you don't know what I'm talking about Rose Quartz. Rose Quartz in spoiler. Okay, I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna say this in general.
Spoiler if I watched the universe yet.
Spoiler for all of these shows. Spoiler for all the shows because granted, most of these shows aren't something you get too deep into, but some of them are, such as Steven Universe. But for Steven Universe, spoiler alert: Rose Quartz was Steven's mom, and in the beginning, she was praised as this all godly person who could do no wrong. And slowly over the series, they break down her character, and we find out that she's not as good as we thought she was. I like how they deconstructed that. And
Colonizer.
Well, they were all colonizers.
Yeah, but we forgave them, and that's what matters.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Not even Steven. That's a whole nother debate. Like, I swear, that whole debate on whether or not the gems were forgiven, I can say with 1,000%, like 1,000%. Wow, okay. Tongue twister here. It's not coming out right. But I can say I'm sure that Steven did not forgive Rose Quartz or any of the diamonds.
Well, I say it's complicated.
I'm telling you, he didn't. He literally, Future spells it out for everybody that he didn't. And Future, wow.
Are you gonna get started? Is this for another podcast or is this for
Hey, we'll tag it down. We're tagging down.
That's another idea on the idea list. I'm already taking out the pen and paper.
Put it in put a pin in it, because let's go on. We're gonna go on to the next category. We're gonna go on superheroes.
Wait. Question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to get to the second rounds of the brackets?
Oh, where I totally forgot. You know what? We should do that. Let's do that. So for the second round, we have Adventure Time versus Billy and Mandy, and then Scooby-Doo versus Steven Universe.
Ooh, okay. I think we should start with Scooby-Doo versus Steven Universe.
I chose.
Oh boy, this is where the viewers put the pitchforks up. You choose your answer wisely, Aubree.
I know, I chose Steven Universe.
Okay, why did you choose Steven Universe over the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s classic Scooby-Doo?
Because honestly, Steven Universe was probably one of the few shows that really it was I don't know, Steven Universe is a weird thing for me, because when I first saw it, I hated it. And I didn't even really watch it, so I didn't even know what I was watching. But when I really started to watch it, I really started to like it, and I really liked the songs and stuff. And once again, say what you want about the plot. I just really enjoyed myself watching it. It was watching that was I felt good for the first time, because I think by this point, a lot of regular show Adventure Time, a lot of these other shows were going off, and so all I had left was Steven Universe, and I just have a really deep love for it. I really do. And once that's why I said this was Scooby Doo versus Steven Universe was I had to really think about it. Like I love Scooby Doo, don't get me wrong, but like Scooby Doo is not on my top 10 favorite cartoons.
Yeah, I can see. I think that's an answer that all of us at home can come to respect.
Yeah. Say what you want, give me the side eye. It's fine.
No,
I'm assuming you chose Scooby Doo.
would you believe me if I said I also chose Steven Universe? No, and here's my argument. Okay, there are things in media that are objectively better. It can be like someone saying, "Oh, Aaron's my favorite character because he has 400 layers of irony, and he's actually trying to do this when he actually means this." But at the end of the day, if I think that Patrick Star is a more compelling character, you can't tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. It's not even about compelling characters or anything about that. It's just about out of pure enjoyment. I literally, Steven Universe fans literally went through hiatuses like it was nothing. Like them Steven bombs got me through high school.
The term Steven Bomb puts a shiver down my spine, bro. It's like you have to set aside an entire day, an entire week, maybe.
Just, yeah, an entire week.
It's Steven Universe week. All my other responsibilities are back burner.
Like the one Steven Bomb I remember coming out. That was what I remember waiting for. Is the one where Garnet and Pearl were fighting. And it got so bad to the point where Ruby and Sapphire defused. I was like, oh, I'm stressed out. Like, that Steven Bomb is the one I remember the most. And not only that, because we got Sardonyx, too.
Oh, true. Yeah, that. And then also, can't forget about Suga Light, Nicki Minaj's cartoon cameo.
Yeah, oh, no, she didn't even voice that. When she came back, she didn't even voice Suga Light because they would have had to pay her.
No, Sardonyx actually comments on that. She's like, we don't have to pay her for that, right? Oh, we still do. Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Funny.
So if you see any characters come back, like in the next scene where Suga Light shows up, just looks at Pearl and smashes the tower, that's because, okay, well, she's not here anymore, but if she says anything, she gets the royalties.
Right. So, sorry to all you Scooby-Doo fans. We're going to get the side eye for this one. We really are.
But at least we're being true to ourselves, audience. Yeah. Always get our unfiltered opinion on this podcast.
And unsolicited, but...
We're off the book. Well, unless you pay us, obviously. Until then, we're off the books.
Off the books. Anyway, now going on to the one where... This, I don't know. We might also... We might have the same. We might have different opinions. But for the Adventure Time versus Billy and Mandy, I chose Billy and Mandy.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that's where we're going to have to disagree because I chose Adventure Time.
Yeah.
No, hear me out. So I forgot to mention this with Flapjack, but why Flapjack and Adventure Time's a little more difficult for me is that a lot of the writers, a lot of the alumni of Flapjack went on to work on Adventure Time. And it's the same with Billy and Mandy, where you'll see some of those common themes of deconstructing a trope that cartoons do or taking episodes to like explore characters and their backstories with all the weirdness that comes with them. And they do those things at the same time. Like they have episodes where it's like, okay, here's Grimm's backstory, here's the Ice King's backstory. They got the chance to get more refined with it because they're already working with those experienced writers, animators. It's like, okay, we did this before. Let's do it one more time, but with more knowledge, more experience.
Honestly, you might flip my opinion here.
Well, I mean, it's just the way the writers did it. It's the same guys. It's just here's some new ideas, some new voices. Rebecca Sugar, one of her first outings in terms of writing and animating or directing episodes. I mean, that whole episode with the door that has music that you need to open. That's where Rebecca Sugar got to start writing. And it's like, oh my goodness. That's how that episode was song filled. And that's how we know it was Rebecca Sugar directed.
Yeah. Also, it produced one of the best songs of Adventure Time.
That's toxic gaslight girl boss song right there. And I eat every second of it.
Every second. You have successfully with me. I choose Adventure Time.
Woohoo! That's what we like to do on the podcast, everyone. We like to change. You don't agree with us? You agree with us now. We have the right opinion.
Now here comes the kicker: Adventure Time versus Steven Universe. same cast
Oh no!
and all that stuff. Oh, I, I, uh, oh wow. Okay. And I would probably choose. I don't know. I don't know. I need some thoughts from you.
Okay, so I want everyone to look at my profile picture dead in its eyes when I tell you this. Steven Universe is a good show, an amazing show, a groundbreaking show. Literally broke open doors for cartoons that wouldn't even be on Cartoon Network. But y'all didn't start watching that until season 2. You did not watch Steven Universe season 1. You saw the we wouldn't if every pork chop were perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs. You said, I am turning that off. This kid is annoying and he's silly. That I'm not watching this until it gets animated in season 2, or at least into the finale of season 1. And that's why I'm going to have to give it to Adventure Time. Because even though it started episodic, it still started strong. We all remember the episode where Finn had to team up with Princess Bubblegum to hide the zombie outbreak from all the candy people as they partied, oblivious to their danger. We all remember the episode where Ice King shaved his beard and he was out here getting the riz. Every single princess was locking themselves up for him. It's like they have to pull off the different vibes of cartoons and still do it successfully, while Steven Universe was finding its footing just for a little bit, which isn't a bad thing.
I mean, I would say Adventure Time did the same thing, because them first 2 seasons or so, I would say we're doing the same thing. They were episodic.
Yeah.
And that's why I say they
memorable.
True. I mean, I guess it all just depends. Honestly, I get your point. I would also probably pick Adventure Time. Then when you put it like that, I definitely put Adventure Time as much as I do love Steven Universe. Like, I didn't by the time I started watching Steven Universe, they had already revealed what Garnet was, and so yeah, I started from the beginning too. I wanted to be fair, so I started from the beginning. So I did start, but I wasn't there from the beginning. I remember when Adventure Time came out.
I was there when Adventure Time came out. That's the difference between these shows. It's like, oh snap, Steven Universe. Look at all these cool episodes from. I got to go back and make sure that I actually figure out what led up to this. But Adventure Time. It's like I can't wait to see them out here partying and stuff like that, saying stuff like algebraic and whatnot, mathematical, using terms wrong. This guy's got swag. He's got personality.
And I also think it has something to do with the fact that, back then, you knew when a new show was coming out. Like, I think Steven Universe was released during a time where we were stopped watching like actual TV. A lot of things were, ending, already ended, canceled and stuff. And so, it just happened to get popular again, because people saw the potential on it. So
yeah, I think that was the era of you find out about a show through a clip on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that was where it started, because honestly, I didn't start watching Steven Universe until somebody convinced me, and this was back in middle school.
Damn, we are old.
Very old.
Steven Universe still in middle school. My God. But anyway, completely avoiding our more. Oh, let's go to but finalizing. Adventure Time has tentatively won the adventure bracket. What a surprise, everyone.
I almost didn't win.
Yeah, it definitely had some close calls with Steven Universe and
Billy and Mandy.
Billy and Mandy, yeah, because once again, I feel like it's not fair. It's the same people. It's like asking me to choose between
siblings.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, do you like your brother or your other brothers? Like,
do you like Venus or Serena?
Damn. Actually, well, we're not going to get on my opinion because I'm biased. So we're going to go to superheroes where bias is completely acceptable.
Honestly, I think this was easy for me.
Oh yeah, same here, bro. They put some. Listen, all right. I'm going to make some of y'all mad with this, but Mao Mao is just not getting it for me because
I don't know. It was never going to win against OKKO. I'm sorry.
I'm sure it's good, guys. I'm sure it's fine, but it just went under the radar for me.
And plus, it was going against OKKO, who was also done by Rebecca Sugar's husband.
IJK, bro. Ian James Cordy.
Yeah, sorry, no. But obviously, for the first one, you have okay. So we didn't even explain who was in the superheroes category. So we had Teen Titans, Young Justice, OKKO. Was it Mao Mao?
Mao Mao,
Mao Mao, Young Justice, Generator Rex, Powerpuff Girls, and Ben 10. So for this first matchup, Teen Titans versus Young Justice, I'm sorry, there was no thinking about this. I was picking Teen Titans all the way. I think Young Justice suffers from the fact that it was canceled and then it was brought back, and then but it kind of had, but it was kind of a disconnecting, and it starts off low. Young Justice starts off very slow.
True. It definitely struggles from that whole DC animated movie thing, but it doesn't get the momentum, or like it doesn't get the chance to get that momentum.
We could talk about DC animated movies because I think that's the best part of DC right now.
Yeah,
but that's another thing we can put a tab in, put a pin in that one. But yeah, I chose Teen Titans. I do like Young Justice. I do like what they were trying to do, and I love the fact that they got a chance to come back. But Teen Titans is just superior. Especially when you got a villain like Slade. Oh my god! You got a well, I think it's what is the YouTuber name? CJ Champ. He made a whole video on why Slade deserves to be at the table of Black Force Energy, and he honestly, Slade is just, oh my gosh, he's a menace. Him alone is the reason why Teen Titans is over Young Justice. Him alone.
Yep, I can't really name a villain off of Young Justice. I mean, the team, their dynamics were definitely cool to watch. I love Superboy's awkwardness and his inability to really like gel with everybody off the basis of having like poor social skills, combined with like Kid Flash and Robin over here being little maniacs. But I'd say that the dynamics with the Teen Titans are a lot fleshed out.
Yeah, and I think the Teen Titans is probably the best iteration of you can still be friends and not be in a relationship. Because even though we knew Starfire and Robin liked each other, that wasn't the main focus. And the same thing could be said for Raven and Beast Boy.
I thought that was Raven and Terra.
Okay, so Raven and Beast Boy, there's actually a whole video about the whole shipping thing with Raven and Beast Boy. I personally do ship them because I do like them together.
Shout out Sarcastic Chorus.
Yeah, shout out to Sarcastic Chorus. We love him. Terra is a victim. I don't think she should be in any relationship.
Yeah, she's still recovering. Give her some time to deal with the trauma.
Sorry, but the way DC does Terra's character, oh my gosh, it's worse than the animated movie universe in the DCAU. It's worse. Like Slade, that whole Slade and Terra thing they got going on is way worse.
Bro said, "I'm going to mansplain, manipulate, man boss."
No, not in DCAU. It was way worse. It was grooming type things.
Bro tried to set up a pre-order. Well, we're just gonna pretend that never happened because I haven't seen that. We will cover that on another episode. But speaking of other episodes, let's get to the other matchup, which we've given spoilers for already.
OKKO. Obviously, as I said before, OKKO. This is
why OKKO. What did OKKO do?
I didn't really even watch OKKO like that, but I did. But for me, it was just simple. It was very simplistic, and that's sometimes that's what you need in cartoons nowadays. Something very simplistic, and that's what it was. And I love the art style of it. Like OKKO was just better to me, and Mao Mao was just forgettable. It's just forgettable. I'm pretty sure people who looked at this whole thing probably looked at Mao Mao was like, who? Sorry to all you Mao Mao fans out there.
As a fan of a media franchise that has like 4 other fans, I must tell you that the 3 Mau Mau fans in our comments or our viewer bases are going to not be happy with that. But I can give them this. That show had charming characters. The small little guy, the big cat guy, and Mau Mau had a really good friend dynamic where it's like someone who wants to be taken really seriously is a small cat, which I can get that. I can get behind that energy no matter what.
Right.
I can't tell you their names because once again, this is at the point where I'm only getting my cartoon visuals through like clips on YouTube. And I'm not actually tuning into the network that I don't pay for because streaming's taken over. But OKKO was right before that era was ending, right before everyone got a streaming service. And let's say they got in at the gold point because it's like, here's a show that has alumni from Steven Universe, has alumni from Adventure Time, and is just made by people who get and who pretty much are in our generation at this point. They're like, okay, I watch anime, I play video games. I'm going to let my inspirations fly in this show. And everyone's going to get if I'm referencing Cloud Strife or Sonic the Hedgehog literally shows up for a single episode for some reason. So yeah, OKKO got it. They just were more of themselves.
Next is Justice League and then Generator Rex. I didn't watch that much Justice League, and I honestly didn't watch that much Generator Rex. However, I still picked Generator Rex for this matchup.
And Justice League Unlimited versus Generator Rex. So Generator Rex was that kind of like, man of action. Ben 10 team wants to do something a little different and say, okay, let's make a show with a completely different power system. Nanites invading and, corrupting people, but giving some people cool powers.
Right.
That's a cool concept.
Mm-hmm.
Cartoon Network said, wow, that's pretty cool. Will it be as popular as Ben 10? And they say, no, Love and Care. And they say, ooh, Love and Care costume canceled. Which is why I'd have to give it to Justice League because the DCAU stuff that we're talking about starts. It's almost at its highlight was Justice League Unlimited. It's where you
okay. So I think you might be getting confused with the DCAU is the movies, not the shows.
I know. But here's the thing: the DCAU and Justice League Unlimited. It's like imagine episodic DC animated movie. Imagine you tune in every week. You get to see what Lex Luthor's up to. You get to see him switch bodies with the Flash and be like, okay, time to finally find out the identity of biggest enemies. And he takes off his mask and he's like, I have no idea who this is. I can't use this information. He's a nobody. Interactions like that make Justice League Unlimited one of the most crazy and likable shows on this network, which is why I'm going to have to give it to Justice. Well, I love Generator. I love it.
Honestly, it won't affect the final result because I know who's going to win the final result. But next one is the Powerpuff Girls versus Ben 10 and Nachos Ben 10. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Ben 10.
Ben 10. There's no need to explain. Ben 10 is just better. Himself alone.
G-Shock for a reason. Everyone owns a G-Shock for a reason.
Oh my gosh. Oh jeez, I just dropped something.
It's like how I was gonna say like Generator X dropped the ball, but all the shows in this one are.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Like even the theme song was just better.
Bro, a alien device did what it did, and now he's got superpowers. He's no ordinary kid. He's Ben 10.
Ooh.
And the names, bro, Kevin Levin. Bro, his name is Kevin Levin.
Kevin Levin. That Ben 10 was just a sneak peek to what we were going to get in the future. But now we're going on to the secondary brackets. So we have the Teen Titans versus OKKO.
Teen Titans.
There's no need to even talk about that. It's just a sweep. And then we have, for me, it's Generator Rex versus Ben 10. And for you, Justice League versus Ben 10.
Actually, no, it's Justice League. It's still Justice League.
I chose Ben 10.
I can see why you chose Ben 10 over Generator Rex. I feel like it's the Adventure Time scenario where it's like, wait a second, this is the same person. Should I choose Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse?
Right. But
So yeah, I
and
think
then
that's it.
going into the final, I have Ben 10 versus Teen Titans, and you have Justice League versus Teen Titans, and I chose Teen Titans.
Yeah, because here I am thinking, while Justice League Unlimited does what it does, like it's pretty much the best of the DCAU. Teen Titans redefines it. Teen Titans adds pretty much one of the most unique and likable versions of Starfire ever made, and so infectious that every single future version of Starfire in the comics, the animations, all take something from this version of her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They made the best Genki Girl version possible, which is why she's cool.
Yeah, and the Raven here was the starting point for everybody.
And the Cyborg here is having up all, bro. And he's having fun whatever he does. But when he takes the moment to talk to you, bro's like, I know what it's like to be treated different. And Starfire's like, you do? He's like, yeah.
Look, I'm sorry, but
Cyborg.
Cyborg is at his blackest here, and I love it.
Oh my goodness. We knew what he was talking about.
He was at his blackest here, and I'm not ashamed to say it. That man was holding up the fist. He was with it. Oh my gosh, they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, not anymore because I don't want to say not anymore because all we have is a DCAU where he's barely in it. He's in it, but not really, so they can't focus on his character. And then you have Teen Titans Go, which is that. But moving on to the comedy category, we have Ed, Edd n Eddy, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, The Amazing World of Gumball. Did I say Gunball or Gumball? Gumball.
Yeah, you did say that.
Oh, Jesus. Regular Show, Cow and Chicken, Total Drama Island, Courage the Cowardly Dog, and Dexter's Laboratory.
Oh, man. I do not feel envious of any of the lists on here, bro. These guys are all... Someone's going to be upset. Someone's going to be upset no matter what.
We'll see. The first one is Ed, Edd n Eddy versus Foster's. I chose Foster's.
You chose Foster's over Ed, and Eddy?
Yes.
Yeah, what's it called? Hold up. Those sound effects didn't do it for you?
I was more of a Foster's person. I love Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Give me one joke from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
I literally couldn't even give you one joke from Ed, Edd n Eddy, so...
Okay, let me think of a joke from Ed, and Eddy. Betting your sweet bippy I do, calling those jawbreakers were iconic. That Kanker sisters were a joke every time they came up on the screen. They came up with something that I can reference.
What about the fact that when in Foster's Home, every time Mac ate candy, this man was essentially addicted to candy to the point where if he had it, he went on a roll.
That was a substance abuse problem.
That was an issue. I don't know. It's not even looking at it of who's better. It's just a preference, really. I just remember Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and I like the theme song as well. Better.
Okay, I can give you that one.
Oh, wait.
But if we're talking about theme songs, come on. You're telling me that you're not gonna give Mancha for that wonderful character demonstrating intro, messing with the camera, running back and forth.
I mean,
you remember the intro, right?
I do remember the intro, but I mean, I'm talking about music-wise. I just like the Foster's Home intro.
Okay, well, I'll just say one more thing to try to sway you to the Ed, and Eddy team. The movie.
You're not. It's not.
The movie that pretty much tied up all loose ends, or the cul-de-sac all came together to support their boy from his toxic older brother. Yeah, it's not going to do that for you?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, we'll say one more thing about Foster. Not even like comedy focus, just like character focus.
Okay. Chocolate milk. If you watch Foster's, you know what chocolate milk means. Like chocolate milk.
That takes points away from me. That makes it worse for me. That makes me silent Ed, and Eddy twice as much, bro. Don't get me started on that character, bro. That early 2000s amalgamation.
And that's why I love Foster's Home, because I like that character.
Audience, you decide at home which one of these shows is funnier and doesn't have cheese from Foster's Home for Imaginary
Cheese
Friends.
is amazing. Leave cheese alone. But
I
next
wish we could leave him alone.
we're going to the controversial one. I would call this a rivalry because these shows were all around the same time.
Shit. Oh, God. I don't even know if I can do this. You might have to just do it for me. I'll just go.
Gumball versus Regular Show. I love Regular Show. It was one of those cartoons where it was definitely catered towards an older audience.
How the H are we going to fix this S?
But I chose Gumball. Gumball is just funnier. I was literally rewatching. I was watching it on for background noise while I was, cleaning my room, and I was watching the first episode, and I literally sat down and I was just laughing because it was just so funny. I love Gumball. Gumball is just so funny and so out of pocket and weird, and the mix of animation styles, I love when the show mixes animation styles. So I love seeing the 2D and 3D in there. I love it so much. And so I chose Gumball. I love Gumball. And Darwin, oh my gosh. We love baby Darwin. We love Darwin.
Darwin's a sweetheart no matter what.
He is.
And you know what? This time you have converted me to the camp of, because listen, Regular Show mainstream stunner humor. It's like Benson was not eating chicken wings. I'll tell you what, chicken wings did not get that. But the Amazing World of Gumball tried so many different things, man, from stop motion puppetry to 3D animation to 2D animation. Pretty much nothing was off limits for that world. The fact that we can see people like Mr. Robinson and his weird Muppet family hanging out in the same family with Susie, who is literally just a real person's chin with googly eyes on the bottom.
Yeah.
And we don't question it, and that's how you know a show is done well. Absorbing.
Also, the amount of references in Gumball is amazing.
It just became, at some point I was thinking it's just going to become Family Guy with these cutaways, bro. Gumball turning into Super Saiyan 2, referencing The Last of Us with the spores zombie virus for a one-off joke. The iconic talking to who's the cactus girl, politically correct type meme.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, Gumball.
Maybe you should check your privilege. Iconic. You can't replace that.
Yeah. So that Gumball, you win that one. Next, so this is an easy one. I'm sorry. We would have a problem if we didn't choose the same thing here. It's Cow and Chicken versus Total Drama Island.
You see, I feel like we're gonna say Total Drama Island. But
we are.
Just say okay, good, because you're like, there really shouldn't be a question about this. Cow and Chicken, it'd be the same energy as I'm walking into a Subway and you're like, okay, we really don't have a question about this. I'm eating a turkey sandwich. So I'm like, really? They got like steak right here.
Yeah, first of all, I don't eat Subway anymore, so wouldn't go there. I'm more of a Potbelly person now if I want some type of sub. But yeah, no, Total Drama. It's just, there's also a new season of Total Drama. I think we should review that.
Oh boy, okay. Well, we'll have to watch the first season too, just to see the jump, just to see the drastic change, and also
I honestly don't need to see it. I've seen it so many times. I've rewatched it just out of like pure boredom, and I still get a kick out of it. I love it, but yeah, we can do that. Well, another pin in that. Another pin. We have so many pins in now.
And it's the fourth pin. This podcast writes itself.
It does. Next is Courage, the Cowardly Dog versus Dexter's Laboratory. Nachos. Courage.
Return the slab or suffer by.
Look, yeah. Honestly, I have no explanation for it. I just like Courage better.
Yep, it's nonsensical. It's just where Dexter's is like an example of Genny Tartakovsky having fun with like a pretty simple concept, run of the mill episode of the week things. The omelette du fromage is pretty funny, but Courage just goes off the wall crazy. I think it's an example of having restraints versus having like just going crazy, just saying, I'm going to put a 3D model mummy outside their house, or I'm going to like have one episode where like they get turned into puppets, or the scariest episode, the Gerbil's World, bro. Don't even get me started on the Gerbil's World. Ooh. It's it's good. There's not a person that's watched Courage and forgot about it.
And so now here's where the trouble comes in. Well, not for me, because I know who's going to win. So, well, debatable. So for you, it's Ed and Eddie versus Gumball, and for me, it's Foster's versus Gumball. I chose Gumball.
Damn. Wow. I'm glad I chose Ed, and Eddie because he's winning that. That show is winning.
Wow.
That's right. Listen, man.
Wow. Okay.
The Ed Boys, it's a different kind of humor. It's not just funny, but it's also able to stand on its own for the plots by themselves. Look at Ed's face, bro. Bro is a schemer. He's mischievous. If he was coming out in like 2020, he'd be into cryptocurrency. I love watching this guy's stupid plots, his schemes, like just crash and burn spectacularly. I feel like that's something that happened because of the all-star cast that was working behind.
Okay. Interesting.
Why do you think Gumball wins over
Oh, Gumball is just Gumball's funnier.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Gumball's funnier.
I feel like I'm the long-winded guy. I'm just giving all and you're like, no, this one's better.
No, because a lot of these older shows, like I watched growing up, and some of them I haven't rewatched. So I'm going off of based on what I remember, and you have to remember I was a child, so I'm only going based off of what I remember.
Okay, all right. Then in that case, I can see why Gumball wins because in terms of recent memory, that show's definitely more groundbreaking.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I just love the animation on Gumball, so it would win in just in terms of animation alone. But
we're gonna have to see how our final bracket looks like because, well, I don't know if Total Drama Island's gonna survive against Courage, man.
Oh, that's interesting because it's hard against Courage in the book.
Tell me, what am I missing here?
Okay. Once again, please I just encourage in the wall pump. And it doesn't look Courage and more factors of it. What Total Drama did is so revolutionary because they took they took the whole game show of like Survivor, like Big Brother, and all that stuff, and made it a cartoon. And basically they funded just had it had one of the best villains. Like the Heather, the villain of season 1 is probably in my top 10 of Cartoon Network villains.
Man, Heather wasn't even a villain. She was just on her gaslight, girl boss, gatekeep type shit. She was trying to
win. Villain is villain's not a good word. Antagonist, let's use that. She was the antagonist of that season. And the way she played everybody and was manipulating everybody, it was just so great. And not only that, I just genuinely enjoy a lot of the characters in Total Drama. Like, it's such a cool show. And this was before they kind of messed up Chris's character and made him basically insane and basically an accomplice to manslaughter.
Yeah, I can live with that. I thought like watching the show and seeing Chris's slow descent into madness definitely a highlight.
Yeah, it's just one of those, and once again, it's one of those shows where I can go back and watch. There's no offense to Courage. I love Courage, don't get me wrong. However, I'm not like really gone back to watch the show. I've gone back to watch Drama Island so many times.
Then I guess we can put a pin in that one for next time when we go over our Courage the Cowardly Dog review.
We're not doing that, but I am not about to rewatch Courage. I don't have the patience to sit there and watch poor dog try and help this poor old woman and this nasty old man. Like, I don't have the time.
That adjective, I was like, yeah, she's gonna find the right adjective for Eustace, useless Eustace. But yeah, that covers it.
Yeah, and so you have, this is interesting. You have Ed and Eddie versus Courage, and I have Gumball versus Total Drama Island.
Wow, this is going to be pretty much the only, or I think for now, the only category where winners are completely different.
Yeah,
I'm sure we have it down. Adventure Time and Teen Titans are the other winners, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I need to write these down.
I'm writing them down. I have Total Drama Island winning that thing.
I have. Oh man, actually, looking back at it now, I feel like I've kind of moved away from what the contemporary comedy would be now, because looking at this from a basis, like without even thinking about it, it I'd either be Gumball or a regular show being at the top of this list. But now, due to all my thinking, all my introspection, I'm gonna say it's probably just gonna be Ed, Edd n Eddy overall.
Okay.
So that's Adventure Time winning Adventure. That's Superheroes being won by Teen Titans. And Comedy being two completely different answers.
Yep, we have Total Drama Island and Ed, Edd n Eddy. That's where this, like, I felt something was going to happen with this one because comedy is subjective.
Bro, we gotta pull at least one episode where we watch one episode and see the moments where one of us bust out laughing and the other one is just completely blank faced.
Try not to laugh. Okay, if we can try that.
Try not to laugh challenge AAA edition.
Yes. Okay, so for the final category, we have Slice of Life. We have our contenders in this one. We have Chowder, Camp Lazlo, Crack at a Creek, Clarence.
No, wow.
I Am Weasel. My gym Weasel. Partners are Monkey, Summers, Camp Island, and We Bear Bears. Okay, wow.
Oh, you are not hiding the bias at all.
Oh, I'm not. So yeah, for Chowder and Camp Lazlo. Funny thing is, not a lot of people remember Camp Lazlo. I do because it used to come on like at probably like maybe like 1 a.m. What
were you doing up at 1 a.m?
Oh wait, no, this is Camp Lazlo. This didn't come on 1 a.m. because Adult Swim was on. Never mind. This was probably before that. Wait a minute. I could have sworn Camp Lazlo.
Are you sure you watched Camp Lazlo?
I did. I have fever dreams about that show. I do, because I remember the theme song.
Sure. Just making sure. What's the theme song again? How does it go?
Lazlo was his name. Lazlo.
Okay, yeah. And now it's all coming. That's like that one scene in Ratatouille. It all started flowing. Oh my god, Camp Lazlo was peak.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. I remember it being on late though. That's the thing. I remember being like half asleep watching it, so that's why I remember it. But
I'm still gonna give it to Chowder though.
Oh, well, it was
a moon and you take the sun. You take everything that seems like one.
Yeah, no, I was never going to give it to Camp Lazlo. I was just explaining that people who don't even remember it probably don't remember Camp Lazlo. There's probably a few select. It's like the same thing with El Tigre. We should do a Nickelodeon version of this.
And we already know that Nickelodeon is happy to just do it ourselves.
I feel like there's going to be some interesting arguments here because I'm telling you right now, in my list, I don't know if Avatar is going to win.
Ooh, that goes to show you how good some of the early 2000 Nickelodeon shows were.
And it's nothing against Avatar. I just find like it's just other shows that I have there that has more rewatchability to me.
Okay.
But pinning that.
Yeah, pinning it.
So next one. This next one, let me tell you who won between this next one on the real polls when Cartoon Network did. Clarence won this one between Craig and Creek and Clarence. Clarence won.
Ooh, the nostalgia line folks be like, ooh, Clarence
was never good. I don't like Clarence.
No, sorry, Aubree. I got it. No. All right. Clarence had heart. Clarence is the same reason why people like Ed. It's like, wow, look at this just genuinely wholesome adventure that these kids are having in their cul-de-sac. You've been a cul-de-sac, you live in the neighborhood. I know you can relate to that.
Oh, you're telling me you chose Clarence?
Oh, no. Craig the Creek still wins.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was like, there's nothing about Clarence that I ever find appealing. I do not like Clarence.
That's fair. You don't have to like Clarence. It's like, it's definitely got early Steven Universe season 1 vibes where it's like, wow.
No, don't even. I never found Steven Universe
the character, not Steven Universe the entire show.
No, that's what I'm saying. Never found Steven annoying in that first season.
Oh, damn. Shoot, couldn't be me.
But
Cheeseburger backpack. Cheeseburger backpack. I'm like, bro, leave this kid at home, man. Bring him later.
leave the cheeseburger backpack alone. But moving on, then we have
Watch the Island Cat.
we have the two most unknown, not watched. I am Weasel and my gym monkeys. My gym partner's a monkey. I told my gym partner's a monkey because it's the one I knew, not because any of them are good. I personally wouldn't choose any of them, but I chose my gym partner's a monkey. I'm not even going to explain that.
Yeah, this is a consequence of having all your shows have a little bit of comedy, and just not having a category to put them into. So you choose the 4 and the 5 out of 10 to fill out the roster. If they put Secret Squirrel on this one, or like no, if they put Scary Squirrel on this and Almost Naked Animals, they're running out of ideas. So yeah, that was going to my gym partners and monkey.
And then we have Summer Camp Island, which I've never seen, and We Bare Bears. I chose We Bare Bears, regardless if I've seen Summer Camp Island. I chose it because We Bare Bears is wholesome.
Okay, then we'll have to emphasize to the audience that we have never seen Summer Camp Island, but it's probably cool, but probably not better than We Bare Bears.
Yeah. I'm assuming you chose We Bare Bears.
Of course. Show goes hard.
Okay.
Ice
so
Bears.
we have...
I base my entire personality off Ice Bear.
Wow.
I fail at it, but I try.
We have Chowder versus Craig the Creek. I chose Chowder.
You let the pufferfish get away.
Yeah, and then between We Bare Bears won that one. And so
Bears versus who?
My gym partner's a monkey.
Oh yeah, moving on. Moving on. Your gym partner's a monkey a sentence.
No. I know.
Okay, that's at least we're honest.
Yeah. Then we have for our final, this is probably the fastest one we've went through. Probably because they had a lot of nothings in this one. But our final showdown is Chowder versus We Bare Bears.
You're not going to like me after this one.
What'd you choose?
I'm choosing Chowder.
That's what I chose.
I thought you chose We Bare Bears. You like
No. I do like the show, but I do love Chowder.
Okay.
I know it was like, no, I'm not your boyfriend.
Yeah, that Panini's whole character got spot show, bro. He's out here just struggling to make this happen, man. He's like, I'm not gonna try it. And don't forget about Endive. Don't forget about Endive. She's iconic.
Yeah, what would I would pay an arm and a leg just to have some Burple Nurples.
Oh yeah, bro's like, oh, but don't pretty ladies get a discount? Yeah, of course. You're not afraid. What about you? You don't get a discount. Ugly ladies have to pay double. That's like that's good there. So
oh yeah,
our final list looks a little like this.
Mm-hmm.
Adventure Time for adventure. Teen Titans for superheroes. Total Drama Island and Ed, and Eddie. Ed, and Eddie being my choice. Total Drama Island being Aubree's choice.
Mm-hmm.
And Chowder for Slice of Life.
Do we want to go into the final verses? Do we want to do it? Or do we want to just keep into the
final verses?
Oh, let's go.
Now we decide which one of these shows is the better overall show for what it does. That's how I want to change it up.
Okay.
None of these shows are directly comparable, but
yeah,
Adventure Time is definitely one of the most iconic adventure genre shows. It changed everything.
And we want to take it. We want to talk about the everything, like movies, more seasons, like overall thing. And so when I look at, at least for me, Adventure Time versus Total Drama Island, I picked Adventure Time because it was just more consistent. After the third season of Total Drama Island, the quality decreased. And it never really got back to that level of where it was in the first, 3. And even season 3 was questionable, even though 1 through 3 is considered the better seasons. So for me, I chose Adventure Time for our finals. We're at the semifinals now.
Okay. Adventure Time for the finalists. That I can agree with. Now, I was gonna say the fact that Ed and Eddie was there was close, but they lose because Adventure Time's got higher hands.
Hmm.
Ed and Eddie's more consistent overall. You know, it's like, okay, these are just kids hanging out. How do we really expand upon this? By throwing them in these interactions, by putting in these characters. We hang out in the junkyard one episode, school the other episodes. What if we have like a Cupid episode? And those are all cool ideas, but some of Adventure Time's ideas, like Finn playing with the mini versions of the Adventure Time characters and shipping them together and just like going crazy and not eating for weeks on end because he's in shipping hell. That's something that was taking your mind forever.
With the with Flame Princess was crazy.
My God, bro.
Yeah.
Next episode, how Finn fumbled the bag. Insane style. How Finn is out. There's a meme where Denji's talking to like Himeno or something, Chainsaw Man, and he's like, I fumbled some of the baddest bitches in the world. I'm sure Finn can relate to that sentiment.
Yeah, and then we have the ones we agree, we have Teen Titans versus Chowder. No contest. It's Teen Titans, unless you like Chowder that much that you chose it over Teen Titans.
Listen, the fourth wall is a concept that was getting a little decimated after Chowder got into the market, because sure, you know, people were like, okay, I'm looking. Chowder says, oh no, we lost all our money. You know what that means, right? Your wife's gonna be mad at you? No money means no animations. And it's like, damn, that's really good. That's like groundbreaking. But
that's the truth. That's what it is.
It's still the truth, and we still get no money. But no. Yeah, I'm gonna say Teen Titans as well, just because one of those shows is still around in at least one form, and that's like, you can get rid of it.
Then we have the Adventure Time versus Teen Titans. Now, I said from the beginning that that we already know who's gonna win, and I'm picking Teen Titans for this.
Adventure Time.
You're picking Adventure Time.
I'm picking Adventure Time. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So we will say that this podcast ends with Adventure Time having one vote and Teen Titans having another vote, split down the middle 50-50. And this is where the third member would come in clutch. But for now, the third member is you listening to this. That's right, you. So
yeah, whoever's listening to this, you decide who you pick your own. You choose who wins. Like, you don't even have to follow us. Like, you choose who wins. Who wins? Who's your final two? Our final two is Adventure Time and Teen Titans. I pick Teen Titans. He picks Adventure Time. Many different reasons. Good show. I don't agree. Adventure Time leads Teen Titans, but hey,
because Adventure Time just has more, and Teen Titans didn't finish the Terra Beast Boy relationship at all. Yeah, one of them didn't get canceled.
Sure. But also, Adventure Time had the luxury of being able to have a 3 specials.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that it's not privileged. I'm just saying it's
very privileged. It's very privileged.
That's Cartoon Network's baby.
Yo, yeah, like they are the Adventure Time. No, Teen Titans Go is Cartoon Network's baby, literally.
Oh, yeah, of course. We're in the midst of a Teen Titans Go multiple month marathon. It's only Teen Titans Go airing right.
Jesus, no.
You're not gonna tune into the Teen Titans Go marathon?
Look, Teen Titans Go. I was never bad on Teen Titans. Excuse me. I was never bad on Teen Titans Go because I knew what the show was. The show was just a little thing to poke fun at. You know, it was essentially a fourth wall show. It was always like, it was nothing ever serious. I think where it starts to really die is when the fact that they play it every day, every day of every month of every year, and it's like you get tired of seeing it. I don't watch TV anymore, so it doesn't affect me, but I could definitely see the people who like severely hate the show, how they're tired of it, because you play it every day. You don't play anything else, and it's not like you don't have any other shows that you could play. You have other shows, you just don't want to play them.
Well, the other shows just ain't really as off the walls. My characters are going to scream and pull at their fingernails type funny. Like, Teen Titans Go, where they constantly high energy referencing things. It's just going to be what the 4-year-olds watching enjoy. And we have to agree that we're not the 4-year-olds anymore.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Even at 4 years old, I had better quality shows, but that's another discussion for another day. I'm not even gonna pin in that because nothing to really talk about. That would be like a 15-minute conversation.
Keep
But
in mind that she likes Ruby.
Okay, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. I said that's okay. So we had a discussion about this on Friday. I literally said how I know how the Miraculous Ladybug fans are feeling right now, which are tired and exhausted, is how I'm feeling. I like not tired or exhausted, but Miraculous Ladybug fans continue to watch Miraculous Ladybug because they're already too deep in it. It's the same thing with Ruby. I'm 8 years deep in the show. My curiosity would kill me if I didn't continue this. And I actually do kind of like this volume, so yeah, we could talk about we could put a pin in that, the downfall of Ruby and how
Yep, writing that down on right now, ASAP. We're gonna talk about guilty pleasures on another episode. That'll be fun to talk
yes,
about.
and that is a guilty pleasure. What is?
This show is terrible. I gotta figure out what happens. Did they really do that? Let me watch and see how it turns out.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. But yeah, that's all for this podcast. Next week, or not next week. I say next week like we do this on a daily basis.
We're consistent.
We're trying to be consistent. We're trying. But next episode, we're going to talk about the Owl House final. We will try to get that recording. Oh, let's see. Let's see your dates here. Maybe we can try. We will try to get that out for you in May.
Yep, sometime before we graduate and work for a living.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll get it out. Maybe we'll get a couple more episodes out. We don't know. Because, filming is not the hard part. Editing is. So.
Fam, Lord knows I'm consistent when it comes to offering work. Is what I would say if we weren't going to end the podcast right now. Catch y'all.
Yeah. I'm Aubree.
I'm Justin.
And this has been AAA Podcast. Thanks for watching.
Animation. We'll catch you all later.
Bye.